important factor that you need to learn if you really want to grow muscle in the gym, and that's failure. Now, there's two types. You have metabolic failure, and then you have mechanical failure. Here, I'm going to show you an example of what metabolic failure looks like, and that should only be done at the very end. But I'm also going to go over breathing and bracing so you can lift heavy confidently so you avoid injury, control of your weights so you don't start having joint pain, and progressive overload. The techniques, the cues, the form is all in your videos. Make sure you watch them thoroughly so you really learn how to exercise effectively. Look at this little insignificant difference between metabolic and mechanical failure. Metabolic is what you're going to be doing at the very end of your workouts or your first set in each movement, which is basically going through the motion, you're getting the squeeze, and you're using a little momentum. Mechanical failure, which you're also going to see here, is you are going to be going so heavy that mechanically, meaning your skeleton, cannot move anymore. You're going to take a rest pause. Guys, you have to take your rest pauses. That's about 5, maybe 10 seconds, depending on how heavy and how intense you're going. Take a 10-second breather. You might be aiming for about 4, 5, 6 reps. That's how heavy you should go, meaning that you cannot go past your 4th, 5th, or 6th rep without taking a rest pause. That'll be your first rest pause. Catch your breath, get your composure back, try to pump out another 3 or 4. Then you're going to take another rest pause, and that's going to force you to real failure, as shown in this video. Metabolic failure is just you pumping it out and ending with like little half reps. That means that your muscles are burning so fucking much, but you need to know them both and you need to learn which part of your workouts to do them in. Mechanical failure is from beginning all the way to the very last workout. The last workout is where you need to implement the metabolic failure. Short rest in between, no rest pauses, meaning like after each set, you should be taking about a 30 to 60 second break, which you're gonna see on your plan. And for your heavier lifts, the mechanical failure type shit, you're gonna get about 2 or 3 minutes of rest in between. And if you don't need 2 or 3 minutes, it's because you're not going hard or heavy enough. So you really need to understand this failure concept, again, if you really wanna shape your body. We're gonna go over failure, rest pauses, breathing and bracing, and tempo, making sure you control your movement. The form, the cues are all in your video, so make sure you watch them thoroughly and you actually learn how to exercise correctly and the most effective way. You can ask your coaches for a separate video of everything we're about to go over. Again, failure, breathing, control of your movement so you don't start to get joint pain, and progressive overload. I'm gonna go over it briefly here, but again, ask your coaches for the full breakdown of how to learn how to breathe and brace for each movement. In the easiest part of the range, for example, at the top of a squat is where you should be catching your breath, and you're gonna breathe and brace so hard that it's almost like you're about to get punched in the stomach. You come down, as you're coming down, you're already holding your breath. You keep holding your breath until you start to come back up. And I want you to think about it, right? As if you're almost going underwater, right? Once you get high enough where you're more than halfway up is when you can breathe out. But you need to breathe, you need to hold your breath and brace. You shouldn't hold your breath for longer than 5 seconds. So make sure you don't breathe and stay at the top for long. Make sure you breathe right before you're about to go down. You're braced, you're solid, and you're gonna move with power. Progressive overload is super important. Make sure you ask your coaches for a more in-depth video of this, but you should be increasing in weight, most importantly, every single week. If it's not in weight, it's the same weight, but more reps. If it's not the weight or the reps, you should be doing more sets, which you're gonna see on your program. But if you're not progressing every week, you will end up plateauing in strength and shaping your body. You don't want that. And the last most important thing, guys, is know your tempo. Again, ask your coaches for a more in-depth video of this through the messages. Message them and just ask them. They'll know exactly what video to send you. Make sure you know what your tempo is. Your tempo is how long does it take you to get down. It should be about a 3 count. So 1, 2, 3. You should be pausing at the bottom before you switch direction, because if you're coming down, holding weight especially, and you're just going to immediately explode from the bottom, guess what? That's all lower back, knees. Next thing you know, you're all fucked up. And you don't want that. We're going to avoid that. So you're going to listen to me and follow my lead. So you pause at the bottom. As soon as you have control, you start to come up and you spend no time at the top. That, my friends, is called time under tension. And that applies for squats, deadlifts, back workouts, chest workouts. Make sure you spend no time at the easiest part of the range, and you'll know which part that is. So keep those 4 most important factors when it comes to the gym in mind as you progress through this journey. I'll see you on your first workout.